So, ich bitte die Kolleginnen und Kollegen.
Colleagues, please take your seats. This is my last session as chair, and I want to be punctual.
So, ich bitte doch diejenigen.
So, newly elected members, re-elected members, please take your seats. The staff, the guests, please get settled. I'd like to wish you a very warm welcome to the constitutive meeting of the ENVI committee. The purpose of today's meeting is to constitute the committee. We're going to be electing a new chair and up to 4 vice chairs according to the rules of procedure, Article 204. So we'll start with the chair and then the 4 vice chairs. So first of all, I have to read something out for you. That's the list of colleagues who are being replaced. Elizabeth Gardini, replaced by Alexandra Mussolini. De Haye is being replaced by Michel Dantin. Mr. Mikolasic is being replaced by Alois Peterle. Sipra Petikayan is starting in. And Peter Jahr will be representing a colleague. And Herbert Dorfmann. That's the EPP. ALDE, Frederick Ries being replaced by Gesine Meissner, ECR. Raimund Legutko, replaced by Becky Foster. Mr. Nicholson will be replacing a colleague. And then for the GUI, we've got the following changes. Teresa Rodriguez is being replaced by Guillaume. Mr. Boylan's being replaced by Anne-Marie Mineur in the Greens. Bas Eichhout is being replaced by Keith Taylor for the S&D. Mrs. Kabatanis is standing in for a colleague. Gladys Wilmot is being replaced by Kay Mitchell. So I don't know if I've forgotten anybody. Is that all correct?
Wird gesagt, bei der ECR, der
Oh, for the ECR, Mr. Dorman is present. So the substitute can relax and doesn't have to vote. So now we can get down to the procedure, electing the chair. Now, we've got a quorum of a quarter of the members. That's to say 18 members. I don't think anyone is going to contest that. And now we need a proposal. Peter Liese.
Ja, vielen Dank.
Yes, thank you very much, Chairman. I'd like to, first of all, welcome all of the colleagues who've been re-elected or newly elected over the last legislative term. The ENVI committee has had more legislative files than any other, and I think that everyone can be happy to have got a place working in this committee. It's going to continue to be a very exciting job. First of all, I'd like to express my thanks to the previous chair, Matthias Grote. Even if he's not from our own political family, I think he's done a very good job over the last few years. But the EPP would now like to propose a chair for the ENVI committee. That's Giovanni Lavia. He's a professor of agricultural science and politics. For many years now, he's been very active in the European Parliament. In the last legislative term, he worked in parallel on the budget and on the agricultural reform. He's a very hard-working colleague. He's got lots of experience and knowledge, and he's from the part of the EPP in Italy who's currently in government. So I think that's a good basis to work upon, and that's why we're calling for your support for Giovanni Lavia. Thank you, Peter Liese. I see there are no other proposals being put forward. So we have a candidate. We've got a number of possibilities as to how to proceed. Either we have a secret vote or through acclamation. I don't see any opposition to doing that through acclamation. So I think that I can also state that his financial interests have been properly filled out.
Und damit ist auch schon gewählt.
So now he's elected. So, congratulations, Mr. Lavia.
Kommen Sie nach oben.
So come to the front.
Dear colleagues, thank you very much for your confidence, and I will be hoping to hold your suggestion in the next period, and I want strongly to cooperate with you, with all of the members and all the political groups of this Parliament in the work that we have to be and we have to do in the next future. Thank you very much for this election. And now I think that we have to start with the election of the Vice President. And for the first Vice President, I have to ask if we have candidature.
Mrs. Auken.
Mrs. Auken.
Jo, tak her formand, og tillykke med.
Yes, thank you very much, Chairman. And congratulations on your election. Well, I'm not going to speak at too much length, but I'd like to congratulate all of the re-elected and newly elected colleagues. Now, I think that we have a good, fair and open attitude to all other political groups, and we Greens would like to propose our Hungarian colleague.
Okay, we have other candidature. No, I'm not going to see nobody who wants to present candidature. And then we can follow the same procedure that we have followed for the president, for the chair. If you have not other position, we can go for acclamation for Mr. Javor. I ask Mr. Javor to join us here. Now we can go to the second vice chair, and then I'm going to ask if there are candidatures in the room.
Grazie signor Presidente. Io a nome del gruppo.
Thank you very much, Chairman. On behalf of the EFD, I'd like to present the candidacy of Mr. Valentinus Mazuronis. I'd like to ask if it would be possible to give Mr. Mazuronis the floor to present his candidature.
We have other candidature here in the room. Mr. Goethe.
Die SD schlägt das hier Sabo.
The S&D is proposing Mrs. Szabó. She's been a member for 5 years. She's been working well together with us for the last 5 years. That's our proposal for the second vice chair.
Okay, Mrs. Hauken, the floor is yours.
Yes, I want to take the floor to say that we are in the Green Group really embarrassed that our very old practice in this Parliament, following the instruction in the rules 199, where you have to make sure that all political groups are represented according to their size, and we have also used the DONT system in all the time. I remember it's my third period, and I have not heard any, but I would like to call for a valid argument against the candidate proposed from the EFDD, because I would just say that excluding any political groups from a committee chairmanship, to which it's due under the established procedures, is not fair, and it's threatening our credibility, and it's also threatening, the electorates that think that we are respecting all the groups, and if we have any specific protest against the candidate, but as far as I'm informed, the candidate is very qualified for doing the job here, so we have no serious argument, and I really find this track dangerous and threatening the democracy and the reputation of the Parliament.
Madame Girling, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to agree with that, but I'd like to qualify my agreement. I agree insofar as I think it's beholden on all of us to uphold the agreements that we've made. They've been long and complicated. And those of us who are in not one of the top two groups, we all should look to each other to support our positions, because if we were to break this system, then we could end up with absolutely nothing in this Parliament, and that would be a bad way forward. However, can I just make my qualification based on what Madam Auken said, that I understand that in the Econ Committee just now, the Greens were leading the charge to prevent the ECR candidate, and in fact they had to suspend the vice presidential elections on the committee. So I'm sorry, I see that as hypocrisy. I support her, but I want to make the qualification that I recommend that my group support her view, but only on the basis of my previous remarks. I certainly think hypocrisy knows no bounds.
Mr. Potts?
No, okay.
Ist das falsche Schild. Mr. Leinen, ja, egal. Ich schätze ja Margret Auken.
Well, I do appreciate Margareta Auken very much. We've worked together very well. You've been here for 3 terms. I've been here for 4 periods. And I can tell you that this has happened on previous occasions, that occasionally that people have been voted against before. That's happened on quite a number of occasions. I think there were very good reasons why this counter-candidature has been entered.
Mr. Liese?
Ja, vielen Dank, Herr Vorsitzender.
Yes, thank you very much, Chairman. I think we have to draw a very careful distinction here between personal and political reasons. Now, the Environment Committee is a political body. It's not a question of the personal integrity of the candidates from the EFDD group. It's a question of the group that he belongs to. The D'Hondt rules are not in the rules of procedure. Those rules do help us when we're deciding on who's going to fill each post. But we can, of course, decide upon other criteria, and that has indeed happened in the past before. In the past, we've had support from the Greens as well for the elections to various positions in the Parliament. Last week, together with votes from the Greens, we didn't elect the EFDD's candidates as vice presidents of the Parliament. We voted for 2 Liberals instead, and that was supported by the Greens, and many in the Greens commented positively on this. The colleagues from the EFDD group have to decide. Are they going to turn their backs when the European hymn is played? Do they really expect that they're going to be taken seriously? And this will have no consequences?
Und deswegen unterstütze ich im Namen der
So, on behalf of the EPP, I support Mrs. Szabo's candidature. She's been working here for quite a number of years. She's been working hard. She's attended regularly. It's a very serious candidate.
Ms. Auken?
I just want to tell you that when we have voted against a proposed candidate, it's always been because of the qualifications or lack of qualifications of that candidate. And there we have to argue against the candidate, not the political group. And I think that using this argument against a whole political group which is fulfilling all the rules here, if you have arguments against the proposed candidate, telling that this person will not be able to lead in a fair and trustworthy way the work of this committee, I would listen. But taking a whole party group out saying we dislike these people because we disagree with them is not an honest way, and it's not fair to our parliament here, which are suffering so much in forehand.
We have the last person who want to speak.
It's the candidate.
Mr. Mazouronis.
Thank you, Chairman. Mėly kolegos.
Dear colleagues, I would like to introduce myself briefly. My name is Valentinas Mazouronis. I was a Lithuanian Minister for Environment. I was the Minister of Environment at the time when Lithuania held the presidency of the EU. That was half a year ago. My experience during the presidency of the Council, of all the experience of working with the European Commission, with the commissioners, with colleagues in the Council, all the experience of cooperating with the European Parliament, has been very useful for me, and I believe that we could make use of this experience that I have accumulated if you accept me as the candidate to this position. Of course, everything will depend on the vote of you, dear colleagues. I understand that there are agreements between the political groups or within the political groups, but I would like to add that irrespective of your choice in this vote, irrespective of that, if you vote in favor of my candidature or against, I still believe that we shall work successfully during these 5 years, and we will be able to choose the best solutions for the European Union and for our member states. I wish that you make the right choice in the vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, for par condicio, I'm going to give the floor to Madame Daciana Sârbu for a short presentation.
Bună ziua. Vă mulțumesc.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd like to thank all of the colleagues who've
Sunt la al doilea mandat în această comisie.
Yes, I'd like to thank all of the colleagues who've supported me. It's my second term in this committee. We've worked together very well in the past. I've worked together very well with the chair of the committee and with the other parliamentary colleagues on the basis of the experience I've had in the Environment Committee and the experience that I've acquired in Romania, working together with NGOs in the area of the environment. Then I must say that I do have good experience. It was the people in my country sent me here after the vote, and I think it's very important that I should represent them well. We shouldn't forget that we're representing our citizens here, the citizens of all of the European Union. So I am convinced that the group that I'm from, the group where the members are from, are very important. I don't want to go on at too much length, but thank you very much for all the support I've had.
Now we are going and we have to vote. When we have two candidates, we have to use the electronic card for voting, and if you are going to vote, and if you want to vote for Mr. Mazzuroni's, you have to press the green button. If you want to vote for Madame Sârbu, you have to press the red button. Green for Mazzuroni's, red for Madame Sârbu. Everybody have the voting card, or someone have not the voting card? Everybody? No. We have Wiz.
I have forgotten my vote card. And
which is your name?
Josu Juaristi. Maybe.
I'll send somebody to check.
Okay, we solved the problem with a substitute member who is going to vote Mr. Forenza. And then I remember, if you want to vote for Mr. Mazzuroni's green button, if you want to vote for Madame Sarbu, the red button. The vote is open. Oh.
EPP, one too many.
We have one EPP more. So one EPP have to... Okay, Herbert. No, only one. Okay, we close the vote and we wait for the result. Okay, we have... yes, very good. Okay, the second vice chair will be Madame Sarbu. I ask to Madame Sarbu to come here and to join us. And now we are going to vote for the first vice president. For the first. And I ask if there are... Okay, Mr. Gott, the floor is yours.
I'd like to propose Pavel Poch. Pavel Poch. It's not Joe Leinen. It's Pavel Poch. He's been here for 5 years as a member of the European Parliament and the Envy Committee. He's been involved in a number of important legislative files. He's got a lot of experience. And he's our proposal for the third vice chair of the committee.
We have other candidates here? No? I have a declaration of Mr. Poch, who is going to accept the candidature for vice chairman. And then I think that we can vote for acclamation.
No problem. Io vorrei proporre sempre...
On behalf of the EFDD group, I'd like to put forward the candidacy of Mr. Marco Fronta.
I'm going to speak in Italian because it is difficult to explain. La richiesta di parola.
Our colleague asked to speak at the same time as I asked for a vote by acclamation. If you wish to insist on this candidacy for a third vice president, we will have to have an electronic vote. Yeah, I do insist.
With the electronic card. And then I ask to you to vote with the same system. If you want to vote for Mr. Affronte, you have to press the green button. If you want to vote for Mr. Poch, you have to press the red button. Green for Mr. Affronte and red for Mr. Poch. The vote is open. The vote is open. It is not open.
It is.
Is this open? Oh, yes, sorry. Okay.
Fammi fatti i suoi. Okay. No, it's fine.
The vote is closed, and the result of the vote, it is 42 votes for Mr. Poch and 19 for Mr. Affronte. Our congratulations to Mr. Poch, but it is not here. And then, okay, we can go to the fourth Vice President, and I ask Mr. Groth, the floor is yours.
Schlage Gilles Pagnot vor.
I would like to propose Gilles Pargnot. He's a colleague with a lot of experience. He's worked here in the committee over the last 5 years. So it would be a pleasure for me if we would be able to elect him as the fourth vice chair. And I call upon on you for trust in him.
Mr. Nicholson.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. In light of the way things have gone here today, and in my 25 years as a member of this Parliament, I have never witnessed this before to this extent. I would like to put forward the name of Mrs. Julie Girling, who's been a member of this committee for the last 5 years, for that position.
Okay.
Sì, anche io sono nuovo qui e non...
Yeah, well, I'm a new boy here as well. I've never heard done anything like this. But once again, I wish to put forward the candidacy on behalf of Mr. Evi, Miss Evi, on behalf of the EFDD.
Avendo...
Well, what we have now is 3 candidacies, and therefore we'll have to vote once again with electronic cards.
Quindi sospendo, abbiamo 3 candidati.
Sorry, we have three candidates. Pargnot, Girling and Evi. So I'm afraid I'll have to break off so that we can prepare the ballot papers. calling you up to vote.
Madame Grosset.
Je me permets de dire qu'il y a certaines...
May I point out that some of our colleagues urgently need to go and vote in other committees. They've got to be allowed to go first and vote before the others because they have to vote in other committees.
Possiamo richiamare quelli che non hanno ancora la scheda alla fine, per andare un po' più in fretta.
Okay, we can start, but we have to start in alphabetic order rapidly. Madame Moi.
Non ha la scheda Moi.
Madame Auken.
Allora, l'unica soluzione a questo punto è veramente a sospendere e farla all'inizio della prossima riunione.
No, non la possiamo più fare. Yes, Madame Hogan, vote. Where is the list? Dove sei? Dove fai?
La lista per firmare.
Ok.
No, we have no list. We need to have a list. And somebody from the secretariat needs to
Yes.
Here is the
Write it out and then
Come on.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
They have this up front.
Ok. Madame. Ok.
And now can we take the ones that are in a hurry?
Auken. Ok. Madame Pilar Ayuso. Mr. Baxo.
The President is asking.
So, Giovanni, can you take the ones that have to leave first?
Okay, okay.
3, 4.
Schulza. Questa?
Konečka.
Konečka. Dov'è Konečka? Konečka. Ivo Belet. Garcia Perez.
Garcia Perez.
Yes. Yes, I sign.
Cosa Emiliano?
Dornano.
Dornano.
Faria.
Dornano.
Faria.
Faria.
Okay. Which is the name?
Scritto Piscia, scritto Piescia. Caputo che sostituisce?
Aspetta che te lo dico. Caputo sostituisce qua.
Danze.
Intanto Melior.
Danze. Melior. Kadenbach. Qual è Kadenbach?
Con la K.
Però bisogna... Dantin.
Sostituiva qualcuno? Qua. Dantin sostituisce
Dantin Delahaye. Dantin.
Da Dantin.
Colin Langen. Come si chiama? Linz.
Yar si è scritto.
Yar.
Inizia a te.
Sì, no, lo conosco Peter.
Qua.
Yar, qua.
Florence.
Childers. Figurati.
Because they had the same thing. They had a grillini.
Okay. We can announce the final result. Number of voters 63. We have 3 blank numbers of cast votes 60. Majority required 31. Pargno 37 votes. Madame Girling 12 and Madame Havey 11. And then I ask to Mr. Pagnot to join us here. Now we can go to the third point in the agenda. We have some communication by the chair. The first point it is on the hearing of Commissioner designated Nelly Feroci. Following the Conference of Presidents decision of the 3rd of July on the procedure for the hearings for the replacement of the 4 commissioners who have resigned following the European Parliament election, their hearing of Commissioner designated Ferdinando Nelly Feroci will be organized by the ITRE committee on Monday, 14th of July at 12:30 in the evening. Taking into account that very short period of time remaining until the end of the present Commission terms, as well as the wish to avoid any overlap with the upcoming appointment procedure of the next Commission, the Conference of Presidents decided to apply a lighter procedure than the one used for the hearing of the Barroso Second Commission in 2009. Accordingly, in view of the much shorter time allocated for each hearing, only the members of committee responsible and then the member of the ITRE committee will be able to ask questions to the commissioner designated. Nonetheless, the meeting is public and members of the ENVI committee are invited to attend the meeting. And then I remember that the meeting organized by the ITRE committee will be on Monday, 14th of July in the evening. The second communication will be on the calendar of the ENVI meeting. In view of the light workload at the beginning of the legislature, next meeting will be on the 23rd and 24th of July and will end at 12:30 on Thursday, 24th of July. We have not meeting in the afternoon as initially planned. The calendar of the ENVI meeting until the end of the year will be confirmed by the coordinators at their first meeting. For the next meeting, I remember that on the